The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Ooh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Hello, Sofa Squad. How is everybody doing? Hello, 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 hello. If y'all could pretty please drop a number 1 in that comment section. That way I know you can hear me. I hope everybody's doing well. We got a 1 from Michelle. I do appreciate that very, very much. How's everybody doing? What's everybody doing? Hey, Katie Cat. Hey, Squinting Cat. Hey, Audra. Hey, Tugs. Pardon me. Y'all welcome the mods to the sofa, to the cushion fluffing, to all that. We do appreciate them very much. Thank y'all for being here. Hello, Tugs. What's going on? Hey, Iowa Travel. Hey, Simpsons. Or I called this I called you Simpsons. I just saw Simpson. I was like, Simpsons. Hey, Nikki, how's it going? Hey, Farmer. Hey, Nancy. So, y'all, tonight what we're going to be doing. Hey, Shayna. What's going on? I hope your mom's doing okay. Brenda, Miela's mom, how are you? Thank you. I do appreciate it. Sorry, I don't know if it's my computer at this point. It will not let me use my webcam, but it lets me use the laptop camera, but obviously it's kind of crappy, right? It's not as good. So there's that. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to read over a couple of things, and then we're also going to be watching an interview by Dr. Webster. A couple of you sent it to me. Y'all might be like, oh, we've already seen that. I haven't watched it yet. Okay, I was waiting for y'all. So we're going to watch that. And he was one of the witnesses. And so basically it's, he's kind of like, yeah, wasn't buying it. Okay. So hey, John. Hey, Michelle. Y'all, it has been so hot today. I cannot get y'all there. Oh, I mean, y'all. And I took one of those naps. I don't know if y'all have ever done this or if you have this, but like when you take, and for me, it's only a nap. You take a nap and you either sleep, like, I don't know whether it's too long or too little. And the only way I can describe it is it's like whatever the chemicals in your brain start resetting when you sleep, it's like you disrupt that. And so then the rest of the day is this weird, like, I don't know. It's like you're in a bad mood, but you're not in a bad, or you can't be in a bad mood. But it's just this weird feeling. Long story short, I have that. I was like, I'm going to go home and like grab something to eat and then just like sit on the sofa for a minute before I come back here and do this. And it hit me. I was so tired. The nap here, it literally is something like that. And I fell asleep, woke up, and I was like, it's like I could literally just fall right back asleep or whatever. I mean, obviously not now. I had a couple of cappuccinos to get myself going, but it really hasn't helped like the feeling. But it's just weird. Yeah, it's like disoriented. I'm just like, I hate that. Usually for me, if I sleep like 15 minutes, like literally just close my eyes and get back up, that's like rejuvenating. Any longer and without my BiPAP machine, oh please, yeah, it's not cute. It's like being a sleepy observer of your day. I know, right? Hey, Squinting Cat, how's it going? Hey, Robert, what's up? I'm just kind of saying hey to everybody, then we'll get started. Yeah, the heat. Nikki says I can't sleep in the heat. Yeah, yeah, same. We had major floodings here. I mean, not like Texas did, obviously, but we got like major rain in places that have like I've never seen flooded. It was wild. Do any of y'all have or drink? Have y'all ever tried this? The water, the liquid death. I love it. Sorry, I forgot to mute it. I'm sorry. Brenda says I call it the Darth Vader mask. Brenda says my niece thinks I look like Darth Vader with my CPAP on. Yeah, 100%. Right, me too. I call it my Darth Vader mask, and I literally have to sleep with it. Yeah, so it's just water. This one's sparkling, and it says "Murder your thirst." Do not ask me why. I think it's because it's in a can. Now they do flavors and all that, and I like what I've tried, and they do regular water, but there's something about it. And I think it's because it's a can and it makes me drink this instead of like a Coke Zero. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna pull up these notes and we're just gonna start reading through these. Now, this is based off of an article by Guy Adams from the Daily Mail, and it's titled "The Shocking Secret About Mushroom Killer That Is Being Kept from Australia." Now, this part right here, y'all, I love La Croix too, Kelsey's. Yeah, same here. This part right here, I was like, what? Because, and I can't remember down under if you're in here, Shaz, if it was you and I talking earlier in email about the idea of like Simon not alerting the family, or if he did, we don't know, like, right? Remember how he backed out the dinner? And it's like, well, did he say something to them, or did he bring this up? Like, what were the conversations behind the scenes? Not with him and Erin, because we've kind of seen that, but with the other family. And they ended up losing their lives and whatnot. Well, this right here goes into more, what we're going to get into goes into more detail about her trying to poison him, meaning Erin. And I'm just like, I would have never eaten another meal. So let me get my glasses, please. Hey, Megan. How was it? Okay, so that's the name of the article from there. Now, during his testimony, Simon relayed, and I'm just kind of reading this as it is or whatever. Okay, so during his testimony, Simon relayed harrowing stories about these incidents, and you're not going to believe it. Okay, so these are the poisoning incidents that Erin did, remember, before this or whatever. Okay, so poison attempt number 1, November 2021. So the day before they're going to leave on the family trip, Erin fed him penne pasta, y'all, this word, bolognese, basically spaghetti. Okay, let's just call it spaghetti. Let's just call it spaghetti. It's out of the can. That's the level I'm working on. Okay. Anyways, the following morning, he began to vomit, which continued during the car journey. He was eventually admitted to the hospital. Doctors became concerned that his soaring creatine levels indicated impending kidney failure. After 5 days on a drip, his condition stabilized and he was discharged. Okay, so that's number 1. And you might be like, okay, just a little poisoning attempt. Like this is, just another Tuesday, as far as this goes. Oh, it gets worse. Okay, it gets worse. Okay, so number 2, May 2022. So we had November 2021. So let's just pretend it was November 1st. November to December, December to January, January, February, March, April, May. So we're talking like in less than Bolognese. Thank you. We're talking less than like 9 months, right? 2 attempts. Okay, here we go. So once again, happened in the run up to them leaving on a trip. So this seems to be a common theme, right? Okay. Erin asked Simon to conduct a taste test on spice levels and a curry she was planning to take on vacation. She gave Simon a portion of this dish on the second night, and he began to feel ill within hours. He was taken to a hospital in a nearby town. He was discharged, but then collapsed after returning. home and was rushed back to hospital where surgeons performed 3 life-saving operations that saw a large portion of his bowel removed. During this period, he was in a coma for 16 days, stayed in intensive care for 3 weeks. On 2 occasions, his family were called in to say farewell because doctors believed he could not be saved. Okay, so that's May 2022. Now let's fast forward to, where are we? Poison attempt number 3, July 2022. So we're not even a full year here, okay, with 3 attempts, right? And clearly getting worse. Now please help. Okay. After 3 weeks of a largely successful recuperation, Erin served beef stew. Again, illness struck, led to a brief hospitalization. Poison attempt number 4, September 2022. So this is November or September, October. So we're at a year now, right? 4 attempts. Okay, she served up a chicken wrap, which caused him to start first vomiting and then lose muscle function. And at one point, he could reportedly only move his neck, tongue, and lips. This resulted in yet another hospital stay. Suspected poison number 5, February 2023. Erin gave Simon a batch of cookies, which presumably had been baked by their daughter. Then, over the ensuing days, Erin repeatedly messaged to ask whether he'd eaten them. He heeded Erin's extreme interest as a red flag and decided to throw them out. Now, let's just pause there for 1 second. Number 1, she's ruined every meal possible, right? Literally. Okay. The fact that she's sitting here blowing his phone up talking about, did you eat the cookies? Did you eat the cookies? Did you eat the cookies? I mean, come on, okay? But at this point, this is what I'm getting at. Whether it's a family, your spouse, or whoever, if someone is in your life and you get to a certain point where you're like, you know what, I don't really trust their interest in me eating the dish that they made for me, I'm going to throw it out. I don't really know what's going on there. That is so not good, right? That's really, really bad. Just think about it. Most of us can say we don't really have ever experienced that, right? Now, hold on 1 second, because I'm going to get some water, but I'm going to mute y'all this time. Please help. Okay. Now, let's keep going. So then a spreadsheet is made. It details times, dates of the illnesses, all this type of stuff. Now, in the article that this guy wrote, and I'm going to quote it here, this table revealed an intriguing fact. Each coincided with occasions when he'd been fed something unusual by Erin. Simon disclosed to his doctor that he feared she was lacing his food with antifreeze or a similar toxin. Doing some research, he discovered that his symptoms may also be consistent with ingesting rat poison or hemlock. Okay. That's insane. That is insane. Okay, now. Then after that, we get to, let's see here. Following the September 2022 incident, Simon voiced concerns about these potential poisonings to his doctor. He then decides that he would have minimal and necessary contact with Erin. So we're in September 2022, right? Okay, now around this time as well, he talked about this with his father about the suspicions, but Don asked him to remain discreet and not share the concerns too widely as to not create issues in the way people related with Erin and our family. When Don became ill after the beef Wellington, he was so convinced Erin had sabotaged the lunch that he took a container filled with his own vomit to the hospital. He gave it to a medical personnel, telling them it needed to be handed to the police because he presumed this could be significant evidence of a deliberate poisoning. Y'all, that gives me goosebumps. Literally gives me goosebumps. Hey, Style Chat. Hey, Leah Smith. Hey, Ann. Can you imagine? So now this was, y'all. Okay. So obviously the homicide squad comes in. This is not good, right? Okay. So Justice Bill said this information could not be presented at trial. Wait, hold on. As based on these allegations, Erin should face 2 separate trials. Victoria, director of public prosecutions, as we know, decided to toss out the attempted murder charges involving Simon. Yeah. Again, there's another piece of evidence that was suppressed. One of the seized devices had accessed a document titled "A Case Study: What Doses of Amanita, Phalloids, and Amatoxins Are Lethal to Humans." The defense told Justice Bill that her laptop might have somehow automatically downloaded the document, to which he agreed. So there is that part. Okay. Now, y'all. So again, like these little things that are coming out. Hey, West Point, how's it going? Hey, Shea Bear. So these things, hey, here to judge. So all this stuff is like kind of come out after that, whatever. And this is so often the case in these trials that we watch or cases, whatever, right? Because once it's all said and done, we see now over here in the States, obviously, we see a lot of this stuff leading up. Like we would have seen these hearings and things like this, but the jury won it. So this is kind of like we're really seeing it from a juror's perspective in a sense of like, oh, wow, okay, like this all really happened along the way, right? So that part to me was just wild. Yes, Sandy says, and how are you doing, Sandy? Why did they accept the lunch invite after all that? That part is very curious. Oh, thanks, Amanda, for being a member for 5 months, and happy Wednesday. It sounds like they wanted, I mean, I can't speak for all of them, but I mean, I think that they all felt, I mean, I don't know, y'all tell me, because I'm curious to see what y'all think too. I think they definitely all felt sorry for her. I think they maybe kind of wanted to keep up appearances. I think they maybe kind of believed her. And then even in that context, like when I kind of look at it and think about the whole dynamic of, okay, even though that was in the back of their minds, I'm just like, dude, are you still ever expecting somebody to poison you? But I guess I'm also thinking on this level right here, your son comes to you and is like, I think, my wife is trying to put antifreeze in like my food 4 or 5 times, right? And then she invites you to this really weird dinner. Or not dinner, luncheon, which is very not the norm for her, right? So this is like out of character. And then, Simon, this is the other thing. So remember how Simon said, like, she kept calling and being like, did you eat it? Did you eat it? So he threw the things out. So then when she gets all weird about him, remember when he was like texting and saying, hey, I can't make it to the dinner. I feel kind of uncomfortable with all those people being there. Like, basically like, these are my words. I think you're trying to set me up, so I'm not going to come. And she was like all weird about it. Like, to me, I'm just looking at the two things like that. And I'm like, that would have made me say, huh. But also because she was so big on what do you call that word? Triangulation, pitting people against each other. He could have just been like, she's trying to put me out there on Front Street in front of the whole family. You know what I mean? Like, I would almost like to give him the benefit of the doubt that he had to be thinking like, there's no way she's going to kill everybody and make us sick. Right? Like, there's no way. She's trying to do something to embarrass me in front of my family, about money or whatever the case is, and drag them into it. So I'm not going to even entertain this, right? But, again, I don't know them. But I just feel like a lot of the things that we see, it's just like, even when something's been kind of like sus, as the kids say, we still don't ever think, my whoever is going to, kill me when I get home tonight, or, what I'm saying? That some people, I'm not trying to say some people don't think that, but in a situation like this, I'm like, yeah, I have a feeling they probably were just like, it's not going to be that, but I don't know. But you would have felt like it could, yeah. Hey, one man's trash, and yeah, I do feel like there could have been some kind of like, should we all go? But maybe he had the conversation, or maybe they did behind the scenes. Yeah. Matt said, did Paul say she tried to kill us 4 times? Yes. Now, again, was she trying to kill him or just make him sick and get attention? Hey, Andy, how's it going? It's good seeing you. I mean, I don't know, right? Okay, so now let's keep going, right? Okay. Let me find this. Okay, so now we're going to watch an interview with Dr. Webster. Now, this is a little bit of a long one. It's like 12 minutes, 53 seconds, but this is a good one, okay? So I'm going to put up here now. We'll stop and kind of talk about it along the way. Mayla's mom, the attempts seemed to be, there's 4 of them in basically a year's time. So if you want to sit here and like say pretty much every quarter, like paying like her quarterly taxes for her business, she was like, oh, we got to try and kill the husband with antifreeze or whatever she was putting in there, right? I don't technically know what it was, but she seemed to be about once a quarter. Hey, Kate Bush, thank you so much for giving 10 memberships. You get a membership. You all get membership. So you have 4 times in a year. So here's the other thing too, before I watch this. You know how it's like, I've been saying this whole time, like, I don't get how, like, why she did it. Like, it would be so obvious. It would be this, finding this out, that this is par for the course. Again, it makes total sense why she's on camera doing this. She's not good at trying to kill people, right? I mean, obviously she was finally successful, but she's super sloppy about it. Super sloppy about it. If she had killed Simon, she would have gotten caught, I think. Okay, I'm going to mute y'all and then we're going to watch this. Please hold. I'm going to mute myself. Oh, okay. I already have it up here. Please hold. There we go. I'll make it bigger in a second. Let me get it going. Now, y'all, when they start talking, drop a 1 so I know you can hear it. And then I'm going to mute myself.
As the sun sets on Erin Patterson's first full day behind bars as a convicted triple murderer.
You recall that moment where she discharged herself from Leongatha Hospital after seeking treatment, trying to pretend that she too was a victim of the deadly meal she'd prepare. The on-call doctor that day who blew the whistle on her was Chris Webster, and he joins us on 10 News Plus tonight. Doctor, we really appreciate your time in coming in. We thought to start with, we might just play that 000 call that you made when Erin Patterson ignored medical help and discharged herself from hospital.
Okay, so you heard him say, so this is the dude who made the phone call. So this is the doctor. Okay, this is the one that was like, she's trying to what? She's trying to leave? No, but it can't be. Can't be.
Dr. Chris Webster calling from Leongatha Hospital, and I have a concern regarding a patient that presented here earlier but has left the building and is potentially exposed to a fatal toxin from mushroom poisoning, and I've tried several times to get hold of her on her mobile phone. So, what's her name? So the last name is Patterson, Patterson. First name? Erin, Erin.
Doctor, an extraordinary call there. You can hear from the tone in your voice, even at this early stage, that you knew something wasn't right. What did you think about Erin Patterson at that very moment?
I thought she was guilty, and I thought that her behaviour when I saw her in 8 o'clock in the morning when she first presented was very strange. And when I asked her directly, eye to eye, where did you get the mushrooms? And she said, Woolworths. Instead of, I picked them, I foraged them. I've been doing that for years. Once she said Woolworths, I knew what she had done, and I didn't bother asking her any more questions, and I went back to looking after the patients, Ian and Heather Wilkinson, that still required to be transported to Dandenong Hospital and ongoing treatment.
Well, that's...
Okay, I had to pause it. So fascinating. He immediately knew. Immediately was like, I'm not even talking to her. So he knew right off the bat. Yeah, he's like, As soon as she said Woolworths, I was like, I'm not even speaking to this woman. I'm going to go try and save these people's lives. Gives me goosebumps. I mean, but that's what's so interesting about this is like to hear from these people, like, obviously we couldn't see the trial live, whatever, to hear this kind of stuff, especially now, they wouldn't let him say that in court, right? Like, well, I thought you were guilty, especially now. Yeah. Nope. Okay, let's keep going.
Exactly right. At that case, you had 2 patients in your care who were extremely sick from her lunch. You knew that there were kids at home who were said to have eaten it. How concerned was she, but also how concerned were you about the kids and potentially Erin's health?
So, Amelia, at that stage, 8 o'clock or 8:05 a.m., I was not aware of the children. I became aware of the children as part of my preparation for the 000 call.
So then, Chris, what did you think about her reaction and how she presented to you at the time when you take into account your conversations with her?
So the first time she presented at 8 o'clock, the interaction was quite brief. When she represented almost 2 hours later, the interaction was far more significant because it also involved getting permission for the police to break into her house to obtain the leftovers from the meal. And it was that point that the conversation about the children took place, because in preparation for the 000 call, I read her entire medical file, and that's where I came to know of the children. And look, the one time that my mum cooked beef Wellington for a dinner party when I was a kid, I ate some of the leftovers. So I figured, why wouldn't her kids eat some of the leftovers? And that's why she didn't volunteer the information. I asked her, have the children eaten the meal? And that's when she said yes. And sorry, almost swore then. And that's when I was okay. This is beyond crazy now. My responsibility to the children at that point meant that I had to ensure that they received medical treatment to be assessed whether they had been exposed to Amanita phalloides toxins. So it was a distressing answer, and also, like, why are you saying it like it's a mosquito you've just slapped on your forearm? You're talking about your children eating a potentially fatal meal. Like, show something. But she's very impassive.
Well, this doctor is so legit, like just like just a regular person, right? Okay, saying all the things we've been saying, right? Like, why would you act this way over your kids? And I'll tell you all this, after learning what we've learned here, this is just my opinion, obviously. She was going to kill the kids eventually. There was nobody left. All of my doubts that I had about her after seeing this stuff come out are gone, right? Where I was like, well, I don't know if she was trying to kill him. 100% tried to kill everybody. Succeeded almost, right? Kids would have been that. If she had somehow gotten away with this, which she's just not that swift with this stuff, kids would have been down the line. They would have been next for whatever reason, whether it was I need money or whatever, right? So they would have been next. And I love the way he's so real about it. I love how passionate he is, especially as a medical provider, right? Of being like, instantly knew this was not right. And then also understand, doesn't talk about the kids, right? Doesn't mention the kid. He learns about the kids. That right there alone would have been like, oh, you had leftovers. And then you learn just by reading their file of, oh, you have kids at home and you had these leftovers that you fed people and you haven't mentioned them. No, girl, go sit down. And then talk about, I wanted to leave. Oh, they wanted to come up over the thing. They wanted to come up over the thing. And what the thing is, I don't know, but like I'm envisioning somebody coming up over the desk. I'm just trying to work with it. Let's keep going.
The things that's often overlooked when we talk about this case is the terrible suffering of the victims. You treated Heather Wilkinson, who eventually died from the poisoning. What was that like? What were your interactions with her?
So, look, obviously I'm aware of the reporting because it's a case that I'm just as fascinated in as other people. In the time that Ian and Heather were in the care of Leah and Gatha Hospital, it was the relatively early stages of Amanita phalloides toxin poisoning. And when you rehydrate patients at that stage, they pick up and they feel better. They don't feel 100%. Ian and Heather were clearly still unwell, but they were able to have long conversations with me about the luncheon and questions about where the meat was obtained. I personally witnessed them leave the plaster room several times to go off to the toilet, presumably to have diarrhea, but they didn't go in a wheelchair. They weren't accompanied by a nurse. They went under their own power and came back under their own power. Heather vomited during the consultation at one point, and I inspected the vomit. She had saline running intravenously, so what she lost was being replaced. And at that early stage, they were exhausted because they had been up most of the night with vomiting and diarrhea, but they weren't in a level of distress that I have read about what it's like to have multi-organ failure as a result of the effect of this toxin. So I can't comment on that aspect of their final hours and days. I didn't witness that.
Chris, amazing insight, and not the day at work I imagine that you would have expected. Thanks so much for your time tonight.
No worries, Denham. Have a good night.
Let's go to Samantha Butler now, our reporter in Morwell. Sam, what's been the reaction there today? And has there been any sign of Erin Patterson's ex-husband Simon or the man who survived the meal, Ian Wilkinson?
Amelia, we haven't seen Simon Patterson or Ian Wilkinson today, but they do have a lot to process and have said they would prefer to do that out of the public eye. Ian Wilkinson did post a message of positivity on the community notice board outside Currumborough Baptist Church, and the community there continues to wrap its arms around him, as it has over the past 2 years. There are still elements of this case that we're not able to talk about, and that is to protect the integrity of the appeal process should Erin Patterson's defence team decide to try to have her convictions overturned. But we can give you a pretty fascinating insight into what the jury has been shown throughout this trial. The Supreme Court has granted the release of dozens of exhibits, including the first photos from inside Erin Patterson's Leongatha home.
I kind of watched this last time when we did it, but it's like their version.
A first look inside the home of the mushroom murderer. Photos taken by police as they searched Erin Patterson's house at Leongatha. The dining table where the lethal lunch was served and the utensils she used to prepare those beef Wellingtons laced with death cap mushrooms. On the shelf, the kitchen scales she used to weigh the toxic mushrooms, and inside a drawer, an instruction manual for the food dehydrator she denied owning. Days earlier, she dumped it at the local tip, part of her failed plot to try to get away with murder. These were the only plates police could find, stacked in the dishwasher and in a drawer. This is her handing a phone to police. It was a dummy, which she'd factory reset 3 times. Her real phone, that's it with the pink case, has never been found. Crucial evidence which helped police to bring down the mushroom cook.
Relief, I think, relief for the family. I know some of them, the son-in-law is my mechanic. So, yeah, I'm glad it's over. And I think the jury did the right thing.
This was Erin Patterson a day after the lethal lunch, making a pit stop at a servo, wearing white pants while claiming to be sick with gastro symptoms. She goes into the bathroom and comes out 9 seconds later. Then she browses the sandwich selection, picking out a ham, cheese, tomato and a sweet chili chicken wrap, all while her relatives were fighting for life in hospital.
If she really loved those people, right from the get-go, she would have done everything in her power to be honest and upfront, if it was a mistake, yeah.
Her web of lies unravelled in front of a jury who found her guilty of murdering Don and Gail Patterson and Heather Wilkinson and attempting to kill Heather's husband, Ian.
It was a long trial. It was a very interesting trial, but for my part, not unexpected, but of course we weren't there for the whole time, nor do we know what the jury were thinking about, but no surprises from my point of view.
There was no sign of the Patterson or Wilkinson families today. Both have requested privacy. But outside the Currumbara Baptist Church, words from the pastor. Life can be hard, but God is faithful and he is always with us. And from church leaders, it's been a long journey and we continue to lovingly support Ian, Simon and all the Wilkinson and Patterson family members through this difficult time.
To Ian, we love him as a person and we hope he can get through all this now, and you can't put it aside. It's something you cannot.
Privacy screens remain in place here at Erin Patterson's Leongatha home, where she lived with her 2 children before hosting the deadly beef Wellington lunch. But the triple murderer won't be coming back here anytime soon. She's now facing life behind bars in a maximum security jail. Legal experts anticipate an appeal.
She's got 28 days to lodge an appeal from sentence, or from conviction actually, and that appeal of course has to be lodged with grounds and particulars. It will need to show some sort of error, some sort of failure of the court to apply the law correctly, something like that.
But as for whether she's likely to win...
Now that's a different issue. There'll be thousands of pages of transcript, thousands of pages of information that will need to be reviewed by the lawyers. Mistakes do happen, and sometimes cases that have gone for a long time get overturned and reheard. So I really can't speculate on whether I think it'll be successful or not.
As the world watches and waits for the next chapter in a now notorious case.
There's plenty more chapters to come as well. A lot of evidence, including the interview that police did with Erin Patterson. It was played to the jury but hasn't been seen by the public. A judge to decide if we'll get to see that as early as next month.
Yeah, that'll be fascinating. There'll be so much interest in that and anything that happens next across the globe. We've seen CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC covering this. Yeah. There's already a murder mystery in the works. But, of course, what we need to remember is that there were 3 people who lost their lives. And as we just heard, it was a painful and scary death. And that's what we need to keep in the front of our minds.
Yeah.
Okay, so, y'all, I mean, come on, right? This is crazy. This is crazy. So seeing all this information come out like this, I'm just blown away. Am I blown away in the way of like, oh, I didn't see that coming? I mean, I don't know, right? Like, I guess the obviousness of it is the most surprising part. Crystal says she's purely evil. I mean, literally, I agree. And again, I was talking about seeing this. Oh, kids were going to be, at some point, the kids, don't know when, don't know how. It's interesting how, I mean, again, just like with the dehydrator, she has the thing there, you know, the manual at home, lying about it. The dummy phone, but then carrying it to the hospital with her. I mean, there's this disconnect. There's just this like Captain Obvious did not enter the building with us, right? Yeah, so here's the thing. We watched a news clip the night before last of them saying that allegedly she's been working in the kitchen and has messed with people's food. Pray that it's not true, right? Pray that it's just slanderous, because I'm sitting here thinking this. Who in their right mind at the jail or wherever she's been at would allow her to mess with the food? Why? It's clearly her murder weapon of choice. Also, what's now interesting, I would love, didn't one of the channels do a body language thing? Because seeing her interact in the videos, now I know we're not hearing her speak, but the way that she presents herself, there's just something that's off. And I don't know how to put, like, I mean, obviously I'm not a psychologist or something like that, so I don't know how to put it into words, but there's just something off, right? I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, Matt says, I'm glad we had all these discussions about her guilt during the trial. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Leah, for the super chat. Thank you for always keeping us up to date, sharing your opinions, which is always good. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all hang out and talk about them with me. I mean, it's just so fascinating, right? Okay, now there's one more interview, but let's see if this is a different one, and it's with the doctor. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Your call is important. Not lying, your call is important, okay? Oh, wait, this is a different one. Okay, hold on. Y'all are gonna be like, why are we share this tab instead, right? Yes. And then boom. And then boom. Yikes. Okay, I'm gonna press play and then mute myself.
For so long, Erin Patterson has been draped in a cloak of mystery, but now the veil has dropped. We're learning more about the sick, twisted mind of a triple murderer.
I think that she's probably already climbed the hierarchy of the social structure of prison. Anybody who messes with her is going to regret it.
Dr. Chris Webster was the first medical professional to speak to Erin Patterson. He called police when she was reluctant to get treatment and discharged herself against medical advice.
I have a concern regarding a patient that presented here earlier but has left the building and is potentially exposed to a fatal toxin.
That 000 call alerting police, the first domino to fall in a chain reaction that ultimately exposed a killer.
The fact that she is capable of doing such a heinous act speaks volumes.
When the mushroom cook presented to hospital after the beef Wellington lunch, the doctor asked why she was there.
The response from Erin, I think I've got gastro. And I thought, what's your name? And she said, Erin Patterson. And I was like, oh.
Ian and Heather Wilkinson were also at the hospital, desperately sick, but the doctor says something felt very sinister.
Erin sat in a chair and I don't even remember her looking in the direction of Ian and Heather Wilkinson.
I've tried several times to get hold of her on her mobile phone.
Mushroom poisoning, you said?
Yeah, so there were 5 people that ate a meal on Saturday and 2 of them are in intensive care.
When she didn't respond in a way that instantly would have explained it as a tragic accident, yeah, that's it. From that moment in my mind, she was guilty, she was evil.
The next time Dr. Webster came face to face with Patterson was in the courtroom when he was called as a witness.
I felt the intensity of the hostility and the negativity towards me.
His testimony would ultimately help the Crown bring down a killer.
She's evil, and she had a problem, she had a dilemma, and the solution that she chose is sociopathic.
As soon as those verdicts were read, the doctor and his medical team, who also dealt with Patterson that day, rejoiced.
I got a call from Cindy Munro and Kylie Ashton. They were celebratory.
Patterson's teary denials at her house after that lunch.
I'm devastated. I love them.
Now, a lot more chilling.
I think she was a locomotive on a couple of steel tracks that there was no way she was deviating.
But despite the cook always maintaining she's innocent, many of those in her close vicinity, including her neighbours, knew something wasn't right.
Sometimes she'd just come out and lie on the ground and stare at the sky and, people would say, are you okay? And she'd be, sort of a bit short with them.
The trial delivered a conclusion, but no motive, leaving a gap in the narrative people are still trying to fill.
In my mind, if she really loved those people, right from the get-go, she would have done everything in her power to be honest and upfront, if it was a mistake.
After being thrust into the spotlight for almost 3 months now, there is a strange sense of calm here in Morwell as the town tries to return to some sort of normality.
I think the community's just released that sigh of relief and happy to move on with life now that that's done and dusted with.
But Morwell isn't the town where the tragedy struck. It's in Currumbara, where the air still hangs heavy. At the church where the sole survivor Ian Wilkinson has been a pastor for many years, we all greatly miss Heather, Don and Gail. It's been a long journey and we continue to lovingly support Ian, Simon and all the Wilkinson and Patterson family members through this difficult time. As our pastor Ian has said, life can be hard, but God is faithful and he is always with us.
No, it's not over for them. They'll never forget what happened. Never.
So where one town wore the spectacle like a carnival, the other carried the weight like a wound that wouldn't heal. Amber Johnston, 9 News.
Well, Erin Patterson is now spending her second night in maximum security as a convicted killer. Eliza Rugg is outside the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre in Ravenhall. Eliza, this could well end up being where she spends the rest of her life.
Yes, Tom, and that's because as far as we know, Erin Patterson remains in denial and she hasn't shown a hint of remorse. That will certainly play a big factor when it comes to her sentencing later this year. We know that the jury in this murder trial was told to treat the evidence against her like that of a jigsaw puzzle. And tonight, for the first time, we can see the pieces that help them put it together. The day after Erin Patterson poisoned 4 people, she claimed she too was suffering serious gastro symptoms when she stopped off at a petrol station for an emergency roadside stop. Wearing white pants, she spent just 9 seconds in the bathroom, then bought a ham and cheese toastie, a sweet chili chicken wrap and lollies. During the trial, the jury was also shown the dining room table where Erin Patterson served up her deadly meal to her victims. Ian Wilkinson sat at one end of the table. To his left, wife Heather and their host. Opposite them, Don and Gail Patterson sat with their backs to the kitchen. When police raided the mother of two's home, they fished the leftovers of the beef Wellington out of the bin. They were taken to hospital in a Woolworths bag, a doctor carefully rifling through what was left of the evidence and taking a photo to send to the toxicologist. Back at the house, police snapped photos of the recipe tin eats book and a number of plates. Detectives also seized a device which contained photos of death cap mushrooms being weighed on a scale and others in a dehydrator that Erin later dumped at a tip. Eventually, it was discovered by police strewn amongst old computer monitors. Among a huge amount of electronic evidence, a message from Gail Patterson to Erin. "Happy Mother's Day, Erin. May God bless you." The reply from the woman who would later take her life. "Thanks, Gail. Happy Mother's Day to the best mum-in-law anyone could ask for." Mystery remains over what happened to the Samsung phone Erin had with her at Leongatha Hospital. Prosecutors say she swapped it with a dummy phone to later give to police. The victim's own words featured in the exhibits too. From Heather Wilkinson, a diary entry where she'd written that she'd be attending Erin's for lunch. For her and 2 others, it turned out to be a date with death. Eliza Rugg, 9 News.
Sorry, I was getting ready to start. I was already talking. So, oh yeah, y'all, please. Pure evil. Pure evil. PG King, thank you for the super chat that you gave. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of like, wow. Wait, you know the jury, depending on when this evidence came out, please. Just that doctor getting on the stand right there and then showing the evidence of her doing all this type of stuff, please. I mean, how could you not come to the conclusion, right? Absolutely crazy. Absolutely. And now, this is also, okay, when he said that she's evil and that she's probably made her way up the hierarchy of like the prison ranking, and if you cross her and all that, I mean, that's the level of evil this man's talking about. We're not talking about some, I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, let me come back over here. Pardon me. I just want to check these notes real quick. So that's kind of the biggest things right there I wanted to go over tonight. I was just reading through the notes and stuff like that. I'm just floored with all the information that's come out, floored at the obviousness of it. And now that there is no doubt, and not that there was like tons of doubt before, but now that you can clearly see, like when they showed the pictures of their church they went to, I mean, that looks like such a cute little, just a little cottagey church, right? And to think that pure evil struck that place and those people in such a way is mind blowing. Like once you know, there's no doubt of like, and not that this makes it better, but like in the realm of like, what was she trying to make him sick and get attention? It's like, no, she wanted them dead. She had tried to kill Simon for for how long, right? Since 20, whatever, I can't remember now, 2021. I mean, yeah, Polly says, I think since she's a multimillionaire, she thought she could buy her way out of it. Hopefully our children use the money wisely. Amen, right? I just think now to the kids, I mean, I'll say this, thank God they're away from her. And thank God she didn't get Simon so the kids have someone. I mean, what else would they be doing, right? It's like, man, I can't, that doctor's testimony has me just speechless, literally speechless. For him to get up there and say that, a doctor would be like, that is pure. And even when he said the thing about being in court and he could feel that dark energy coming from her towards him, and then them showing her, that interview again where she's like, I love them. I'm whatever, I'm sad or whatever she said. She made all that. She literally made all that up. Yeah, Kathy Bates, totally agree. Kathy Bates should 100% play her. And you have to wonder, like, where did her phone go? I wonder what was like going through her mind in that moment where she's watching them eat the food. I mean, did she have that much hatred towards them? Yeah, Brenda says someone in the chat yesterday said there's already 2 TV movies in the works. And I can't remember where it was, a text or whatever, but somebody was sending something about a book that's going to be coming out. You already know, right? That's one I'll definitely read. And then the neighbor talking about, she just comes and lays in the yard and stares up at the stars, whatever. It's, oh yeah, but Northwest says poisoners like to watch the victims. And I also remember when, she was like, in a sense, getting off over the dinner when they were sitting there and she knew what she was doing. And then how the doctor was like, she didn't even look in their direction. Didn't even ask about them. It's so interesting how he just knew right away that this is really, really bad. And so, you knew when she was leaving, they weren't concerned about her safety. And this is another thing that it changes my perception of, because at first I was like, oh, they were like, you're going to get sick. You're going to get sick. No, they instantly knew this woman killed these people and she can't be leaving. Like this was an intentional thing. We need to keep her here. Yeah, and then think too, so like Simon, the kids will obviously, I mean, they're young or were young, whatever, when this happened. They'll have to live with that. Simon will have to be like, okay, oh my God, Ian in these late years lost everybody. I mean, it's crazy what she did. But then even seeing her move, and I said this before, and I'm not say it again, seeing her, oh yeah, and Nani Ann says the trauma that the medical team was feeling, absolutely, absolutely. And watching her move around, there's just something so odd in the way she's talking, the way she goes and pushes that button, like, no, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Mm-mm. I know Professor Fun by sounds similar. There's still this part of me, I'm like, it's so dumbfoundedness over it. At the time the kids were 16 and 9, you know that they had to sense something, especially the 16-year-old. They had to sense something with Erin, right? And not even specifically about this, but just like just hearing what we're hearing about her, you know that she just like came off as maybe off. Maybe people were scared of her. It really makes you do wonder about her mother. I agree. Yeah, the way she just walked over and pushed that button, like, I'm leaving. That was so, it's just her mannerisms, the way she's talking, you know, that hand gesture. Oh my God, right? It's crazy. I just, I don't, so, whatever about that. Now, let's wrap up real quick. So I want to ask you all a couple of things before I run off and go home and eat dinner and crash. So we're just gonna kind of switch topics here real quick. Has anybody heard that whole thing about Stephen Stearns possibly taking a plea deal? Do we know if this is, I mean, I personally can't imagine why he would not on, well, both of them, right? But especially this first one. But is this confirmed? Do we have like, you know, this like coming from absolute confirmation? Because I can't seem to find that, but I haven't looked in the last like hour or so, but I just saw some stuff people sent me earlier. And so I'm like, is this just, you know, internet rumor? Haven't heard anything yet. Okay. Something alluding to it. It's probably the same kind of stuff that I've seen. And they very well could have Nayla. There's a 2-week delay on the hearing, so they've already pushed it back some. Internet rumors of now. Okay, so Pauline says, I can't believe she was an air traffic controller. So Erin passed the test and did all that stuff, and I can't either, right? Can you imagine if she, imagine. I know, right? Everybody's playing out on these trials. Oh, wait, hold on. Peach Keen's a severe storm headed to Asheville. Oh, gosh. They can't take much more there. The storms just keep battering them. Yeah, Katie Cat says planes would be crashing everywhere. Bye, West Point Dollar. Have a good one. I gotta get headed out too. So what we'll do is we'll see. Oh yeah, and Emily says Brooke Hoax guilty. Yes. Crystal Rogers, 10 years in the making for that, y'all. Hey, Jason. Storm just passed in Greensboro. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll reconvene. I'm sure like something else will come out or whatever. Thanks, Joanne, for the super sticker. And then, oh yeah, not guilty. I need to look into that case. I haven't looked at that one. So we'll reconvene when something else comes up, right? And I'm sure that will happen. And with the Erin stuff as well. I'm gonna work on the video for the main channel tomorrow, like all this stuff or whatever. And yeah, we'll be going over the Donna Adelson stuff as well. I've got a few videos I'm gonna record of like just the overview of each person and all that. And we'll see what happens with that one too, right? They might play out too. Oh, Josh and Brian over in Courtroom Confidential. I need to hit Josh up again. I just got so busy with everything. So everybody give a round of applause to the mods, our friends, and the squads, our friends, for keeping the cushions fluffed and the pillows going. I appreciate everybody for hanging out and looking at Erin Patterson cringe with me. Right? I mean, that's really what it is at this point. So if you're in the way of storms, please be careful. Do what you got to do. And that's it. We'll end with Slow Morrison's little song. And I will probably talk to y'all tomorrow at some point in some fashion. So we will just be doing all that. But that's it. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. And I will talk to you.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough. Join the family. It's all love while we laugh at first criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Puppies need me, oh please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.